Hello, welcome back to the LY show, Waiting Out COVID-19 series. I'm Leah, and today we're joined by Amanda in Los Angeles. Hello, Amanda.
Hello, hi everyone.
I know you are a very, very busy mom, and
Yeah.
it is our pleasure to have you to join us. And can you tell us a bit about your daily routine now?
Now,
Mhm.
it's actually I feel it's weird because my baby situation, he has like a pre-existing heart condition, so we've always been very careful with him.
Mhm.
Um, and After China had the COVID virus broke out, I was already very paranoid because I knew there will be people travel between two countries, and I knew that will be like there will be cases here too, and I know, and LA has a lot of a big Chinese community, so since China's breakout, I was already very paranoid, so I try my best not go out. And because his condition, we couldn't really go out much anyway.
Mhm.
Um, so my life actually is pretty similar since since January.
Mhm. So
Like this,
it's way before LA
yeah,
has
before LA's
issued
lockdown,
the
basically.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's very dramatic. Like it's kind of interesting for us because before the lockdown, my husband still goes to work like normally. So actually now I feel my life is a little bit easier
Mm,
because he is working from home
mm,
mostly, and my baby had the heart surgery. Although he's still in the recovery, but because the heart condition is gone, so he's sleeping and eating, and daily life is more predictable. So for me, it's actually easier because I can kind of know, oh, when is he going to be sleeping, when is he going to be hungry, when is he going to be, I have a um, kind of predictable schedule now. But before, my baby had the surgery in March, mid-March. So before
mhm,
March, I was kind of in half quarantine, half lockdown, and I was just dealing with him every day, like kind of like scrambling through the day. And now it's actually more predictable and more has a more set schedule. So it's actually more regularly.
mm,
So I I so I wake up. One thing is he's an early bird. He's like early person, morning person. So he will get up, wake up around 6:30, and then I will have to wake up, and then we'll have breakfast, day like morning routine, everything, and then he will go back to nap around 9, 10 ish,
mhm,
and take an hour nap, an hour and a half, sometimes 45 minutes. So what happened is he usually has like 2.5 hours naps total in a day, but breaks in two naps.
mm,
So he either take 40 minutes nap and then take an hour and a half later, or take an
mm,
hour and a half earlier, like in the first nap, and then goes back for 40 minutes after. So like he will sleep an hour and a half or 40 minutes, whatever, and he will wake up, and then we do under playtime, lunch, and then put him back to sleep, and then for an hour or 40 minutes, and then get up, feed him dinner for him, and then bath time, put him back to sleep, and my dinner time, and that's it. So my day is like goes pretty fast actually when you
right.
break it down in a small section.
Mhm. So you don't really go out. You just
No,
spend
I
your whole
actually
day.
don't got at all. I would say
Mm,
the first go I go was is what the we live in a condo community, so there's a basketball court at the end union by the end union of our condo. So it's
mhm,
like 3, 4 unions down. That's the
mhm,
basketball course. That's the furthest I go. I either go there, take my baby there when there's nobody, because by the basketball courts, you can oversee there's an intersection on the road to take him to go see the cars and people walking around a little bit. but also still in a safe distance. Or I just go get the mail, which is also like 4 house down, basically. That's it.
And that is that, like, how long have you been keeping doing that?
Well, I would say after the lockdown, I'm more like strictly with that, because before, we will still take him to grocery shopping at least, because I still like him to go out, because for a baby to see everything, their face is just priceless. Yeah, so I still hope that he could go out. So before the surgery, it's very interesting. It's happened, the LA lockdown happened right around the time we were in the hospital. So what happened is, like, we went in the hospital when everything was normal, and then we were in hospital for a week. When we came out from the hospital, the lockdown started like a couple days before we came out. So when we came out, the grocery store will be crazy. People were like stocking up the toilet paper and then rice, and those things were gone. And then we wasn't there to go through all this craziness because we were in hospital. And who told us was the nurse. One nurse is very interesting. She's a travel nurse, so she doesn't stay in one hospital for a while. But she was telling us everything. She's like, it's crazy. It just happens. I need toilet paper, so I went off work today. She was our third nurse. Like when we were there, third day, she came in. She was talking to us a little bit, and then she said, "It's crazy. It's crazy outside." I said, "What's happened?" She's like, "We don't know." I said, "No." She's like, "Yeah, I think the lockdown, like the quarantine, gonna starting." So people were stocking up the toilet paper and water. And what happened is, I went to a just normal grocery store, which people don't really buy toilet paper from there, because people usually stock up from Costco and those like a bulky sale place. But she said even Trader Joe's, Ralph's, which is like let's say like a 7-Eleven in China, maybe, right, on the street market, like those small grocery, like small markets, or the toilet papers are gone and hand sanitizers are gone. And then she was saying, well, anyway. And it's just very interesting to see how hospital changed too, because we were there, I think on the third day or fourth day, we read the news, because it's a children's hospital. It's one of the best children's hospital in America, probably. It's LA Children's Hospital, Children's Hospital LA. Anyway, the news said they admit kids with the coronavirus, and we were so nervous because we were in a heart ICU, which they already said the pre-existing condition, including was like one of the conditions heart, like lung and heart disease, like heart condition, is the like high risk people. And then they are babies, they had surgery, so the whole ICU, we were very, very nervous. And the ICU was like practicing the COVID-19 whatever routine for patient. They had a couple rooms has those like the steps you have to follow how to take care of COVID-19 patient. We saw that on the door of a couple rooms, like just right down the hallway from us. So me and my husband was like very nervous. We were there 24/7, 24 hours basically. We never really leave the room. Like we go for food, we take turn to go. We don't really leave him there by himself. So we were pretty nervous. And I remember how crazy I was washing my hand, because they have hand sanitizers everywhere in the hospital, and then they have hand soap and a wash sink in the room. So I will, and then on the door before you enter the room, they have a hand sanitizer there too. You enter in the ICU, they have a hand sanitizer there too. So I would just sanitize my hand all the way wherever I touch, and then I had sanitize my hand before I go into our room, and then I will wash my hand right after I enter, and then wash my hand every time I touch something. So I just feel like my hands get really, really, really dry. But like we were like, okay, it's better to be careful about it. And especially when we saw the notes happening on the door, we were like, are they treating that particular kids in that room. We didn't know because on the news they didn't tell you where's the kids or what's the kids condition is or who is the kids or what's they just say they had a kids that with that virus. And not next day, the same day basically, I went down for the cafeteria because hospital has a cafeteria. We can't cook or we can't eat in the ICU, so we have to go out eat. And the whole cafeteria just changed. American cafeteria is pretty like laid back. It's like a buffet, right? Salad bar there, and then buffet, like you pick whatever you need and then go to the cashier to pay. All the buffet is gone. The salad bar is gone. Everything is covered. Which funny is because like you have to, if you want a fruit or salad, they use very small plastic container to wrap the salad separately. And I think people didn't really buy them because that's not the right portion you want. And then slowly they just took those salad bar away, and then slowly the buffet was already behind the counter, so you have to talk to the staff to get what you want and all that. So the cafeteria become like pretty empty, and then they closed closed the seating area of the lobby. I mean, of the cafe too, and then the whole hospital just looks pretty ghosty that way. And then a couple days, and then we lived like that for 3-4 days, I would say. So like I said, after he came out from the surgery, a couple days after, we started the kind of quarantine life with the hospital. And then we went home, and then we came home, then we just ordered a grocery online. Even my husband didn't really go out. So yeah, that's it. But we took our kids, our baby back for like a follow-up appointment.
Okay.
A week after we come out, like after we come back. Actually, that's the end of March and was not too serious, I guess. People are in quarantine, but the hospital was just starting. Not really. That's the thing though. America's, I hate to say that, but America, they respond kind of slow for me too, because they didn't really have any open test, like tents. Like we were, we are in with the hospital that's a commercial hospital, not the county hospital. So they're even slower. They didn't really have any like test kits or test tents available until way later. Like this, I said, we went back for one follow-up appointment. They were pretty serious about only one parent's going with the baby. So I couldn't go in. I have to wait my husband in the car. And he took the kids in to see the doctor and then came out. And after that follow-up, the doctor he just called us, say, there's another follow-up, supposedly, the end of this month. They canceled it because I think that's when things get very, very serious and they start getting patients and testing kits, like testing tents in their hospital as well. So they want to lower the risk for the kids. But yeah, like we went back, but that's all we did. We went for the follow-up checkup, and that's about it. I never left the house basically.
When you were in a hospital, were you wearing masks?
Well, in the room we don't, because with the kids and he was already very nervous, so I don't want to scare him. But when we go out for food, we go downstairs, we wear masks. But that's about that time, not that many people will wear masks. But I think it's because it's a very good hospital. Like I said, Children's LA, the medical staff, like the staff, security guard and all that, they started right when we heard the kids would admit it. And then every staff you will see, they wear masks, walk around already. Yeah, but not normal people. And we were like, they were considered as paranoid people. But it's hospital, so nobody judges.
So even when, like, on your ICU floor, there was this notice saying there possibly there is a COVID-19 case, even though that was the situation. No one else was wearing any masks.
No, I don't know. Was that no? Like that's just me and my husband was like worrying about it because they say, oh, that's the protocol. That's the protocol of how you care for the patient with COVID-19. They never say there is a patient in there with
Mm-hmm.
COVID-19
Okay.
because I think only a day after that they took it away. Even though
Okay.
they still wear the whole bodysuits in the room, what they wear in that room is it's just like what we saw in Wuhan. Basically, the medical staff was wearing, but they're short on medical supplement for sure because it's a county hospital. It's supposed to be a big hospital, but all the staff has to go um, get their own masks and whatever, and then they will tape a bag on the door, the hospital door, which like let's say this room has the COVID-19 whatever patient in the room, so they will only put the mask on before you enter in the room, and then the nurse whatever go into the room, their masks are taped on the door with a bag, write their name on it, so they reuse the mask. They don't discard a mask like after one use. So yeah, that's what we saw. I was like, oh wow. That's what we've been doing at home too. We saw that and then made my husband's like, oh okay, well, let's do this. So we tape it back on the door in a garage door and then just put our mask there when we come home before we come in the door basically.
Okay. So I guess you started preparing for COVID-19 even before your kid's surgery, right? Since
Yeah,
you obviously have heard a lot of the news coming from China.
yeah.
How's your family? How are your family and friends doing in China?
In China, they're fine. I mean, my dad likes to walk because they live in Hangzhou and then they live um, very close to the West Lake, and he can walk to there. So um, during the quarantine, they couldn't, and my dad started. I think just a few days ago when the quarantine was lifted in Hangzhou, and then my dad started complaining about how he gained weight and stuff. So my mom said, "Oh yeah, you can go for a walk," and then he got some those like the one-time protection mask, whatever, and then start one for a walk every morning now again. Just at least week. That's the past week. I think he started again. And my mom, she is a hermit anyway, so she doesn't really go out that much. But yeah, they're fine. I think. Yeah, my dad never. One thing they complained during their quarantine was the vegetable, because my
Um,
yeah, they think it's hard to get the green veggies and stuff. But that's other than that, they're fine. I think.
are they mostly worried about you now?
Yeah, my dad sounded pretty serious one time because it's funny. Because I sometimes I post some stuff on WeChat that they can see, and like I said, a couple weeks back or something, my husband's busy with work, so and I'm busy. I'm always busy with kids, so he's actually in charge of cooking now. And then during lunchtime, when he's busy, he would kind of like forget it. And I get very, very hungry because I'm breastfeeding. So when I'm hungry, I'm like really, really hungry. And I was like, oh, I'm going to make, a ramen and just add some vegetable and meat in there. So it will be good and healthy enough. And then when I was doing it, the Shin ramen, the Korean ramen, I was like, oh, if I add an egg, it will be perfect. And then he'll be like, well, can you not add an egg? Because it's kind of hard to get a grocery now. So I bitched about it on the WeChat, and my dad saw it, and he's like, okay, it's a hard time right now. So he talks like it's a war, and then we have to go over it. But then I was like, Dad, it's okay. We just got egg this week. It's fine.
So there was some problem with groceries, but no, it's okay.
Yes, well, it's never. I That's the thing about America. I was thinking about it. I just read the news today. So there's tons of onions, milk, and vegetable and beans. The farmers has to throw away
Mhm.
in America here because the restaurants and those places are closed, so they don't need it, and then it's worth $1 million food. They have to throw it away. And then although some of the farmers has donated to like food bank and Meals on Wheels and stuff, but those organized charities, they only have that many fridge, and they only have that many volunteer to absorb all those waste. And then based on our experience, it was never really short on food. So what happened to us was we are using delivery service from Instacart. I don't know, have you heard about this
Yeah, yeah,
Instacart?
yeah.
Yeah, we're using Instacart. But Instacart, it's so unpredictable nowadays.
Mm.
I don't, because I still don't know how they work, how the system work. So for instance, we order from Ralph's and they use Instacart to deliver to us. So we ordered it on, let's say we ordered on Monday and it says we'll be here on Thursday. And on Thursday, they told us, oh, it will be delayed on Saturday. And then we're like, okay. And on Saturday, the order, because my husband has the app on his phone, the order just disappeared under his account. And they didn't charge us either. So we are like, so what happening right now? Is it just gone? Like, are you guys just bailed on us or something? But then so that's that's when we started to like worry a little bit because we don't know, like, do we have to go out to get groceries? And at that point we didn't go out yet, the whole like for 2 weeks. We would never went out. So on Sunday, yes, Sunday or Monday morning, my husband did the research. He found out a market Sprouts that has no sit-in hours for citizens, like for people to go in. And they are open early, which is 7 a.m., which is pretty early. Not that many people get up at 7 a.m. on Sunday. So he wore a hat, a jacket, and mask and everything, gloves, and went to the Sprouts, got everything we need, and came back and tell me, you know what? They're pretty stocked up. And so the grocery store is still pretty stocked up. And then
It's
I think,
just, it seems like it's a huge logistics problems rather than shortage on food.
yeah, I don't think it's really a shortage on food. I mean, based on our experience, we didn't experience it at all. I think the only thing it's short was like masks and toilet paper.
So when do you expect the whole social distancing quarantine thing to be over in LA?
I've been following it every day because the social distancing, the quarantine thing, is not enforced like a China. We still see people going out without masks on sidewalk, walking their dog and everything. We still see people interacting with each other. Like the other night when we went out when I went out to get my mail, because Friday night I think, our neighbor still has had their friends over in their garage, sitting by a fire pit and talking. So we were like, we don't know. It's, and then me and my husband was talking. It's like, people are stupid. If they don't do it, the curve never gonna go down. Um, but so that I don't know. But if you're talking about like the politic wise, the governor, whatever, California governor, at least a couple days ago, I read a news said they want to extend the quarantine to May 15th. But today I read another news, same in California, they want to reopen the business on 15th of April.
Mm.
So I don't even know which one to believe, because I mean, obviously California, like they know it's hurt economy if they don't open the business and stuff. So what they said is they will try to slowly reopen the business, but still tell people to keep social distancing. And then one other thing is finally CDC, I think last week, start telling people, oh, you should wear masks. So at least at least that's, that's solved the problem a little bit, I guess. But yeah, but that's what I heard. So I don't know when. I really don't have a good feeling with it at this moment still.
We'll see this through like in
Yeah.
the next couple of months.
I don't know, like, cause they are saying this. Well, I don't know why I don't have a good feeling is because there's no cure.
Mhm.
All the news, all the stories I've been reading is um, most people who recovered from it were just by themselves.
Right,
Like
right, right, right.
I just read the news today, a Chinese mom who like their kids is American, so basically an older mom whose kids are whose kids is like 20 something already. The mom said her son had it, and all he did was quarantine himself, drink a lot of water, eat healthy, um, take NyQuil for the fever, but that's it.
Mhm.
Like my friend was saying, it's the Darwin way of like getting over the quarantine because it's nothing you can do. It's just basically just to survive.
Right.
And there's no cure. So if there's no cure, there can be a breakout anytime, I think.
Would you say that your family's income has been affected by the virus? Economy.
Yes, because yes, well, I do film. There were a couple gigs where I was talking about like with people in China and here, and then they all dropped because the thing. It's not just the quarantine, but the virus and the travel ban and everything. So it's yeah, it's I would say yes.
Mhm. Do you have any future prediction about like whether what direction the film industry is going to be
I
headed?
can I don't know. I mean, what's interesting is I think um, for content creators,
Mhm.
um, you shouldn't worry too much because besides the theater, the online streaming service is booming.
Mhm.
My husband works with Disney, Netflix, and studios and stuff like that. That's their clients. Um, but he doesn't do film. He does PR, basically whatever the um, the graphics you see, they have part of it. Anyway, um, so recently they've been working with Netflix and Disney. Seem like they're still pretty busy. So for what I feel is contents will always be, will always be there for people, but distribution channels will probably change a little bit. I think that same happened in China, right? Like the theaters are closed, so people are all watching stuff online. Um, but I think for a short period of time, yes, because there's no recording, no shooting, no production going on. But long term wise, content creators shouldn't be affected too much. Only ways like you maybe need to think about because the platforms are different, so your content will be a little bit different. Like I personally feeling is maybe TV will be more and more. Um, well, before TV was always like like those soapy whatever contents, but now well, it was already a trend that way. Like HBO has Game of Thrones and Netflix has a couple solid show too. I think, and Amazon has a couple solid show too. Anyway, but I think more and more contents will be go online, and then not just big filmmakers like I think who An Lee was talking about making a show with Amazon. I mean, we didn't never saw all Apple. Damien Chazelle, the Oscar winner director, he is in development with Apple for a show too. So all those TV shows might get more better contents because the situation, not just the situation. I think it's a trend anyway. I think in general, but the quarantine situation probably make people realize a little bit more. On the other hand, though, it can be another way because people are locked down inside for so long. Once they can be go out, they will be like, okay, I want to go see a movie in a theater just because I haven't done it for like that long, and then will become another end of training. Who knows? Like, it's very hard to predict in that situation. I was actually thinking. I think it's actually met my prediction. What with China, because when China's on lockdown, the stock dipped, and then I was thinking, I need to buy some travel stocks right now. It's gonna be hard. It's that down, but I think once the quarantine lift, people will start going out.
So are you thinking of writing any like screenplay or any script about this time?
Mm, I don't want to be the cliche filmmakers just catch the trend and start doing stuff like everyone does. I actually read a post yesterday actually. It's the Chinese production company, Ning Hao company. They're looking for contents that um, only facing to people in New York and LA, wanting young filmmakers creating short films about this situation right now. Um, and I was thinking, like, what can I do? And I do have stories. Like, I was thinking about making a story about when I was in the ICU. I was like, wow, if I make a story that just happened in ICU in hospital, like, that would be cool because that's how my life was for 7 days. My life was just cafeteria, ICU, my baby's room, cafeteria, or like a break, like a dining area, and then breaks room. So I was like, it's all indoor, it's all one location. If I just, but then I was thinking, is there any dramatic situation going on here? Not really. My life there was just like not really sleeping, taking care of him. My mood was like a roller coaster because his situation was not that steady. But then to think about a story to tell, it's a little bit hard. So I'm I would say at this moment I'm always thinking about things to like stories, interesting things to tell. But then I don't I'm not gonna say I won't say I am thinking about to make a one particular story about the virus situation. But I think this definitely gonna have impact on the stories that I've been working on. Yeah.
When this whole thing is over, what would be the first thing that you would like to do?
I don't know, take my kids back to China
Mm-hmm.
to show him because I think it's gonna be a while that I wouldn't be feel safe for him to travel back and forth internationally because I don't know when it's gonna have a lockdown again. I don't want to trapped inside with him like in another place or city that he's not familiar with. But when everything will be over, I think that's one thing I can think of. Just I think he will be old enough to walk around too, so that will be cool. Take him back to China and show him around.
Nice. And I really do hope to see you and your baby here.
Yeah, no, that would be fun. He's already a fun person to look at. Like my husband said that a couple of days ago to our neighbor, because our neighbor is in quarantine. My neighbor, she is pretty freaked out because her husband works in hospital, so she's very cautious with it, and she's stay inside all the time. Like we hardly see her. And then when we were walking in our yard. If she heard us, she will open the door and but still stay inside and say hi to us. And then she said, yeah, I'm bored, but I'm still staying inside and trying to social distancing with everyone. And she's like, how are you doing? And my husband said, actually, it's not too bad because the baby is pretty funny and entertaining. So our life is not too bored. And every day has something new with him, you know. So it's like, oh wow, he knows how to pick up, you know, food with his finger now. Like, oh, he's not just smashing the food with his hand now. Oh, he can grab the spoon now. Oh, he has his teeth coming in today. So it's like everything is different every day. So we're not that bored in that way. If you see.
Nice. Yeah, I do hope to see you soon, face to face, but we can
Yeah,
like still chat. And
yeah, totally.
it's so wonderful. The wonderful thing about the internet, like no matter how far away you are, you can
I
still
know,
talk
I
face
know. I
to
was
face.
thinking about that too. Like my dad and my mom being FaceTime with me every day now because they want to see the kids too. And then I think before they weren't really a big fan of like video chat because I think they're not really comfortable with camera. But because they knew that it's gonna be a while for them to actually meet him, but they don't want to miss out too much with him, and they also wanted him to get used to them too. So they start kind of like video chat with me pretty often now, just to talk to him and give him some
Yeah.
Chinese like influence too, because not just English. Because I try to speak Chinese with him, but it's just me with him. He's kind of like looking at me like, "What you talking about, mom?" Because dad speaks English with him and I speak English with dad. So for him, I don't even know how language work in their brain, like for babies, because it's two language. But he seemed kind of understand it. So, you know,
Mhm.
yeah, but my parents wanted to get some real Chinese into his head, I think. So, you know, we've been doing that. Yeah.
Cool. I think that's it for our interview today. And
Thank
thank you. And I'll see you.
you. Yeah. See you.
Bye.
Take care.